What's up guys, my name is Ace, and lately I've been seeing a lot of people in Black Ops 4 videos, in comment sections, and on Reddit, and areas like that, claiming that Black Ops 4 is just a reskin of Black Ops 3 and they eliminated the advanced movement. I want to discuss my thoughts on this topic, share the things that are very similar between these games, as well as things that are completely different with these games, and this is all just based on my opinions, based on my playtime and experience with both of the games. So I think the number one reason that people have been comparing Black Ops 4 to Black Ops 3 and saying that it's a reskin is quite simple. If you look at the art style, if you look at the way that the game looks, excluding the heads-up display, just the game in the background, the characters, the map, the way that your guns look when you're aiming down sight and everything, it absolutely resembles Black Ops 3 a lot. So when people are saying that it's a reskin version of Black Ops 3, this definitely isn't coming out of nowhere. It does look and feel a lot like Black Ops 3, but boots on the ground. Personally, I don't know what else people were expecting out of this, though. We're dealing with the next installment of the same franchise and the same series within that franchise, and we're also dealing with the exact same hardware limitations. They're both designed for PS4 as well as Xbox One. So I think it's kind of foolish to have expected that things were going to vastly change in this area and Black Ops 4 was going to look absolutely nothing like Black Ops 3. Of course, there's plenty of similarities in the art style as well as the overall graphical fidelity, and I don't really see anything wrong with this. I think Black Ops 3 was a great looking game for a Call of Duty game, that is, within the Call of Duty engine. Of course, it doesn't look quite as nice as a Frostbite game, but for Call of Duty at least, I think Black Ops 3 looks great, and Black Ops 4 looks great as well from everything we've seen so far. So I don't really see much of an issue there. This is clearly just the next installment of the same series. And this also applies to the next big thing people are talking about when they're comparing Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4. This is overall just how your character feels when you're playing the game. This is a combination of several factors like your overall movement speed, the handling stats of the weapons, the way that sensitivity values are tuned, as well as a lot of the animations that you can see your character use. So when they're reloading, when they're sprinting, all of those sorts of animations that you see. I can confirm that Black Ops 4 absolutely does feel a lot like Black Ops 3 when it comes to most of these areas. I've had a lot of people ask, what are the sprint out times like? And my answer is pretty simple. Feels just like Black Ops 3. I've also had people ask, what's the flinch like in the game? Again, based on my playtime in the game, feels just like Black Ops 3. So it definitely does seem that they've taken a lot of those characteristics from Black Ops 3 and essentially just ported them into this game. For those people that really liked Black Ops 3 and how it felt, they're going to love this, myself included. I really like how this feels because it's using a formula that we know works, and it worked in the last game. However, there definitely are people out there that didn't like how Black Ops 3 felt, and in that case, you probably won't like how Black Ops 4 feels when it comes to that area. So when people say that Black Ops 4 is just a reskin of Black Ops 3, I do feel that is a gross exaggeration. Absolutely, there are a lot of elements that appear that they were essentially copied and pasted from Black Ops 3, but I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing, as long as those are elements that are tried and true and that people generally seem to like. One thing that I do find funny though, is I see a ton of those complaints, people saying, oh, this is just a reskin of Black Ops 3, it's trash. And then within that same comment thread, or sometimes even the same person, I've seen the same person say this within the same comment, and it was really ironic to see. They say it's a reskin, but then they also go and say, this isn't even Call of Duty, this is just Overwatch or Rainbow Six or something like that. So which one is it? Because you can't have both. It's either the same as the last Call of Duty game, or it's a completely different game that's not Call of Duty. You can't have it both ways. Realistically, what's going on, based on my experience, is certain elements were absolutely ported over from Black Ops 3, and it's going to have a very familiar feel to any Black Ops 3 players out there. However, they've also made a ton of changes to this game, and yes, it has strayed away from the Call of Duty formula in many ways, whether you like it or not. There are still many things that I don't particularly like with what they've changed here, but there's also a few little innovations that I really like that they've implemented, like predictive recoil. I think that's a great change that we haven't seen before in Call of Duty. So at the end of the day, is Black Ops 4 a complete reskin of Black Ops 3? No, not a complete reskin. It did borrow a lot of very familiar elements, and it will feel a lot like that game, so if you didn't like it, you probably won't like this one. But to call it a reskin is such an extreme exaggeration and makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Of course, these are just my opinions based on my experience with the game and my playtime with the game. I'd like to know in the comment section below, at least based on the gameplay that you've seen, what do you think about all this? Do you really think that they borrowed way too much from Black Ops 3? Do you think it should have been an entirely different looking and feeling game than Black Ops 3? Or do you like the fact that they have borrowed several elements from that game, so it will feel very familiar? Let me know those thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Yeah.